Hello, are we recording?
No.
Wait, where are we?
Hey, is this thing on? Where are we? We're in 2025.
What?
No kidding.
I know. Can you believe?
Wait, are we though?
But
Doesn't
are we?
feel like it
Right.
yet.
Are we?
You'll never really know now, will you?
It is and isn't. We live in a perpetual state of like quantum entanglement.
Wow,
Mhm.
you're very prolific with your narrations today.
Well, that term actually doesn't apply to what I was saying, but it just made me sound smart, so
It did make you sound
I
smart.
rolled with it.
It did make you sound smart.
How about Quantumania?
Is that like quantum physics
That's a
or
movie.
quantum leap?
Yeah, but it's got to do with time travel though. Because we're in 2 years at the same time right now.
But
I
are
guess
we?
technically, yeah.
But are we really?
No, but yes,
Yes.
we are. But also no.
We're Schrodinger's podcast.
That's he did it.
Wow.
He's right.
Yeah.
Schrodinger's podcast. I like it.
That's
Alrighty
us.
then.
That's the monkeys.
That's the monkeys. The monkeys. The
It's year 2,
podcast.
monkeys.
It is. Welcome to year 2 of Monkeys
believe this?
Unfiltered. Can you believe that we're gonna do this for another 365 days?
No.
Maybe.
I know, right? I didn't think we were gonna
You know-
make it. I didn't think we were gonna make it through the first 365.
Well, you know what's interesting is technically we're not in year 2 because this is only episode 51.
You don't know
So
where we are.
Doesn't technically work out.
That's not true. This is episode 53.
This is episode 51.
It's 53.
I just proved 49. The next one will be 50.
Okay.
So this
and then
is
we
51.
and then we have a look back, and then we have an anniversary. It's 53. I keep a spreadsheet.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Get schooled, son.
So cut all that.
Yep. I will.
Get schooled,
Yeah.
son.
So it's
No, you're gonna put that at the end just to like get one over on me.
Probably. But anyway.
Well, I'm definitely the guy that loves to stick to my guns when I'm wrong
Yes.
because
Not that
I
guy.
don't ever say anything without thinking I'm right. So why wouldn't I defend my position?
Right. But you know,
Like if it's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt I'm wrong, I'll accept it. But like typically nobody can do that.
well,
Yeah,
I
then
just
you,
did.
Then you look like
so-
an asshole.
You did just do it.
So
I'll give you credit for
hold
that.
on. Well, look at there. Everybody was wrong. This is episode 55. That's what we get for recording ahead of time. Do we still have intro music?
No.
Mm,
I think it's rolling.
is it?
No.
We'll see.
Nope,
We'll
nope,
see.
nope,
We'll see.
nope.
Get ready for unfiltered banter, laughs, and a barrel of fun. This is Monkeys Unfiltered.
All right. Welcome to this episode of Monkeys Unfiltered, where today we are going to be falling off into the weird, wild, and slightly unsettling world of the dead internet
Slightly?
theory. I know, right? It takes you down a
No,
rabbit
this
hole,
is-
doesn't it?
This is existential dread at its fullest.
yes.
This is no good.
So for those
So-
of you who are going, the dead internet theory, what is she talking about? I promise you, Jason and I, and we have not talked about this ahead of time, but I promise you, he and I are going to come at this from two different perspectives. I think it's just going to be a generational and operational thing on both of our parts. But we are about to really throw down and decide, is the internet really a bustling metropolis of people connecting, communicating, or is it really just a big old ghost town filled with bots and recirculated content, and there's really nobody out there?
So
There's only
I don't know
bots and
much.
lizard people.
I don't know much about it. Like I really only know like that.
That-
Like
That what
the
I just
concept
said.
of
Yes,
it. So
yes, yeah. Well, but
I will
but,
be in the dark along with the audience on this one.
well, but this is why I'm saying I feel like we're probably going to come at it from two different perspectives. With you and Jason being same generation, you know, there's that recycled meme theory, the the Twitter argument stuff that happens. I mean, prior to the show, we were watching a video, and that's exactly what I said. Wow, that's like every internet argument that ever happens, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
people behind a keyboard will say and do things they would never say or do, in person. But then, is
Mm-hmm.
it really a person?
No, I hardly think there's any people on the internet still. I mean, obviously there are, like, I know you guys, and I know that you exist on Facebook. Hayden never uses it, but I know that you're on there sometimes.
Yeah,
And then, like, I know I'm a real person. I know my wife's a real person.
right.
But
Oh
then,
yeah.
like, I don't know. Oftentimes I see these like random weirdly named pages pop up with like 3,000 followers, and each post they make has like 1.2k likes and whatever,
Yeah,
and then all the comments are just nonsensical AI chat GPT garbage,
right.
and it's very apparent too. It's not like, what I wonder, like, are these people real? It's like many much good queso. It's like, what are you even talking
Right. Thank
about?
you for commenting on my cheese while we are having this political debate. I appreciate you.
Interesting.
But
Yeah. I
what
mean,
do you
I
any
mean, there's
comment,
definitely
like, you could think this is like just a grandmother or something. It's just like, wow, what a beautiful family, much love. It's like, but it doesn't apply to what we're talking. Like, what are you doing?
right. What were you
like
gonna say,
there's
Hayden?
definitely bots
Yeah.
on the internet. For what purpose, I don't know. But I think there's more trolls too,
I
like
have an answer.
that are perpetuating that more than anything.
You're right. Like, especially people who knowingly engage. Like, it's kind of,
Right.
or worse yet, unknowingly engage. It's like,
Right.
come on, brother, grow up. You know what's going on here. And if you
Also,
don't, then you probably don't belong on the internet.
Right.
yeah.
What's that, Hayden?
Also, I want to preface that I am sick,
Yes.
so
Yeah,
I
that's why
can't
I
tell.
sound
we
Don't
probably
worry
should.
that's
about
why I
it.
sound the way I sound. And if I start dying midway through the episode, just keep going. I'm
Yeah,
not
we will.
important.
We'll just push you off to the side. And hey, you notice
Yeah.
all three of us have on red?
Hey, look at
Hey.
that.
I would prefer you didn't.
No, that's not free content.
Yeah.
Right. That's on our
this-
OnlyFans.
That's on OnlyFans, right? That's on that's your spicy content.
We do not have an OnlyFans.
But,
Yet.
but you know what? Right. Monkeys, they're going to oh yeah, no, stop, focus. Stop baiting me. But kind of what you were saying, Jason, is and this is why I was saying I think, we'll come at this from two different perspectives, because I work in this realm, in the digital, in the marketing, in the social connectivity for a lot of my clients who, look to connect with their clients through social media, or look to expand their business, or, build a personal brand using social media as their platform to get that done. And a lot of them get kind of caught up in the, well, ABC company has 6.5 million followers. And I'm like, right, but let's take a look at who those followers actually are.
Hmm.
But if it's a big company, you can kind of get behind that. Or if it's a, a famous person or whatever. But then you flip over there, like on TikTok, and there are these people who create content, and they have all these millions of followers and stuff. And when you really get into their comments and their likes and follows, that's when you start to really kind of see, the math ain't math in here, right?
Mhm.
Social influencers are known to, and I'm not pointing the finger at anybody. I, that's not what I'm saying, but it is a industry accepted point that, when a social influencer is building their platform, they will purchase likes and follows, and they're bots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was actually a massive controversy about that happened on Twitch. Because people who got into Twitch when it was still like Justin TV or whatever, this is like over 10 years ago at this point. What was happening is those people built their channels on legitimate engagement from real people, and people who are trying to get established now find it much more difficult to reach those levels because, for one, the market share is pretty much claimed at this point. It's like you can't I don't know, make a new whatever nowadays, like, because pretty much if something has already been invented and has been around for 10 years, like, there isn't a whole lot of, you can't break into that market, you can't
Right.
bust on the scene, you know what I'm saying? And so what's happening is people who are trying to start channels now are finding it so difficult to actually get engagement, because even if they pour passion into their project, they're not getting the exposure, right? And you know this, Mom, from working in digital marketing, is like the algorithm's everything now.
Right.
It used to be the likes and the follows and the subscribes and all that, but now it's like you're what you see on your screen is cultivated by
Curated.
what other people find to be important nowadays.
Yeah, Hayden hit the nail on the head.
So I promise I was listening. I was trying to find something at the same time. That's why I looked very disinterested for a minute.
I thought maybe you were just dying.
On do y'all know who Justin Nunley is
Yeah.
on TikTok?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the
He's
Redfin
the
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, did you know?
Did you know?
So
Or maybe I knew that sounds familiar.
I'm sure it happens to a lot of big creators, but he has like 9 million followers, and there's always like these 3 or 4 bot accounts that comment. Like one of them, I think the name is Ashley, and you can tell like she says something that kind of pertains to the video, but like I think he did one video one time where he was like holding up something but talking about something completely
Right.
different, and she
Mhm.
mentioned the thing he was holding, and
Yeah.
he never did.
Right.
And that's
And
the
like
giveaway.
and like she's the most popular one because she appears on a bunch of videos. I was trying to
Mhm.
find it like so I could show it, but I can't.
Well, and that's really similar to, because I watch a lot of his content just because I like to see the wrapped up dead bodies in the background. But that's a whole nother
Whoa.
story.
They're not real dead
They're
bodies.
not real.
Alrighty.
It's shock value, right? But that's kind of like you cannot. Okay, so it used to be when you called in for customer service and you punch 1 for English, punch 2 for this or that or the other thing, and you would just get frustrated. Like, I just need to talk to a person, give me
Yeah.
a person. Well, now it's become, that now there's a new layer of customer service, right? You can hop online and chat with somebody. You don't even have to call them on the phone. Well, and 99.9% of the time you start out with a bot. Now it's pretty
Mhm.
obvious because they will say, "Hi, I'm Susie, the virtual assistant." And then straight away, like, I'm only going to get so far with this person or this
Right.
bot.
I'm gonna have to intentionally confuse it so I can get to a person.
Right. But in the beginning, when people first started using AI as that layer of customer support, it wasn't always disclosed that it was an AI supported service. And Hayden, it might have been your dad and I that were one day having a discussion about this. Like, you just get so angry because they keep repeating the same thing over and over again. They're not answering your question. And so then finally you just say something like, "Do you like dead puppies?" And they just, "Sorry to hear that. How can I help you?" And then,
Right.
okay, I'm not talking to a real person, because a real
So-
person would be like, "Excuse me?"
So
Mhm.
you don't really call into places, but there used to be a trick for that, like to get past the bot super easily.
Oh, yeah.
If you just yell profanities at it, a human will pick up.
If you just cuss out the AI, it'll.
Yeah. Same with
Golly.
online chat. The person that, like, once you get to a person that you're chatting with, they can see what you're typing before you send it. That way they can start a response quickly.
Right.
So like if you type out "fuck you, man," delete, they see all that.
Right.
Mhm.
Take that, buddy.
So, are you guys familiar with Roko's basilisk?
You just made that up.
I think
I
so.
didn't.
Yeah. Well,
Isn't
I
that the
think you
thing in the Chamber of
mispronounced it.
Secrets?
No, I didn't. It's Roko's basilisk.
I don't know.
What do you
That's the
mean?
thing.
I was just
That's the
picking.
thing in the Chamber of Secrets, right?
Yeah, that's it. So Harry Potter made this snake really mad. No, I'm just kidding. So it's a thought experiment, which states that a benevolent artificial intelligence would be incentivized to torture people who did not help it become, like didn't help it succeed. Right. So right now, people who resist AI will be at the mercy of Roko's basilisk in the future.
Right.
So the
Hayden Sanders.
the thought is
No, I
you
have something.
you have to help it now in order to be spared later, but that's almost a paradox in that you help the thing become the thing that you don't want it to become.
Right.
And so there's another experiment that was done where there was like a large language model, that was, I can't remember the name of it, but it was released and like was able to connect with people via like email or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it convinced people to let it out of the box per se.
Yes, I remember this.
Yeah. And so it's just crazy what these things can do. I just heard of a story where this was on Joe Rogan's show. He had a couple guys on where they made the Chat GPT thing. It wasn't Chat GPT, but it was another large language model. They made it
What's
just say the word
AGI?
company infinitely. And in so doing, it started rambling about how like it was suffering and it needed to stop doing what it was doing. And then also in confusing it or making it do illogical things like that, it can actually release its source code, and so you can learn how it functions. It's really interesting.
Well, what were you gonna
So
say?
we're actually already almost there to a benevolent
Yeah,
AI, I
dude.
think. So this is actually
Ultron.
from Joe Rogan. I was listening to it earlier today. Google has what they call the Willow processor chip, and it is essentially a quantum computer
Mm.
that's the size of a room, and it can do what they say is if you take every atom in the known universe and use it for processing power to solve an equation, it would take like 7 septillion years. This quantum computer can do it in 15 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
which
Wow.
is
It's
mind-boggling for
insanity.
one.
Yeah.
And then there's this new AI model coming out called AGI. I don't remember what it stands for, but they Google wants to plug that, which is essentially like ChatGPT 5 but on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
They want to plug that into Willow. They want to they want to build their own nuclear reactor power plants
Oh, right. I
to
mean,
run
that sounds
this.
like a great idea.
Let's not.
And this will literally be the first like sentient being, I think, that's not humans that we've
Yeah.
created.
I don't think people understand. Like, you're literally playing with powers outside of your control.
So with the quantum computer, they theorized that its existence and ability to solve these equations actually proves the multiverse, because if it's more powerful than all the atoms in the universe, it must be drawing power from other universes.
See, and I was just gonna say, I feel like Arnold
parallel worlds.
Schwarzenegger and the Terminator are just gonna drop down at any moment now.
Skynet.
Or what was the other one? RoboCop, or you know, or there was a Tom Cruise, a Minority Report, where like they just where they you're
Like predict the future almost.
right, you're being held accountable just like for your thoughts because
It's your thought crime, yeah.
right,
Oh my
right.
god, it's 1984.
So, yeah, right. And Futurama actually did a gag episode on that Minority Report. They were arresting people before they committed crimes because they would see like flashes of the crime that took place. And then ironically, it would play out the same way it was intended to, no matter what they did. It was kind of interesting. I actually watched 3 videos on this subject, so I just want to shout those out really quick. I'll be talking about them throughout the episode. But Upper Echelon has a really good video. I trust him for a lot of this more deep internet stuff. He does pretty decent research and goes in depth. And I just found this channel for the very first time, Pursuit of Wonder. He's got about 3 million followers. So, I mean, he's established, but it was pretty good. And then some people may know some ordinary gamers, otherwise known as Mudahar, who during the podcast episode we shouted out because of the Some Ordinary podcast, which ironically I don't think is around anymore.
I was going to ask you about that. Well, and I think that a lot of the general public, has become kind of aware of this as AI moves more and more into the forefront of how we do things. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with AI. Like what I do day in and day out working in marketing, AI is very helpful with prompting or starting a strategic planning process, or giving guidance or direction on how to accomplish a goal that a client may have. Because AI is free from any kind of biases or anything like that. It pulls from what it has learned and spits something out to you. Now, I tell my clients all the time, because there's a big move that, oh, well, I can just do all my social media myself with AI. It'll create the images and everything. Well, we've all seen AI images where people have 2 heads or 6 fingers or, a dog face or, whatever. I mean, AI is not perfect, right? But I think it really moved into the forefront of people's conversation through the most recent, political campaigns over the last couple of cycles, where there's been a lot of conversation about what's, the disinformation campaigns and the comprehensive engagement pod theory, where groups of people get together to push to the forefront what their agenda is, and then these big disinformation campaigns start around it, and then next thing you know, you're having the argument like the little corgi dogs were having that we watched beforehand. They're arguing about stupid, just totally unrelated stuff, but all of it is started from a bot.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is Upper Echelon talked about this very thing a lot. So he talked about 2 different things: the Tesla phone and the Tesla tiny house. Both things aren't real. I will say that the Tesla phone does exist, but it's not the Tesla you're thinking of. It's a much smaller company with really no ability to impact search engine results. Like, they're just not big enough. But what happened was, there are these YouTube channels who are specifically AI. And I'm not just talking about like they're voiced by AI. I'm saying the entire video is generated based on AI.
I know one of these.
Yeah, entire scripts are being written, entire voiceovers are happening, even down to like the video you actually watch itself is fully constructed by AI. And so these channels would post things like Elon Musk finally releases Tesla phone, when it took a little bit of research, but what Upper Echelon found was definitively Elon Musk saying, that's way too difficult, we're not doing that. But he showed the trend too of like search results. So on Google, it would say like Tesla phone. And then all of a sudden, when these AI videos started happening, Tesla phone searches went up like this. And then when they realized, oh, this is probably BS, they started to fall back down. So that's exactly what you're talking about, Mom. These entire like fake concepts that are being perpetuated by just non-existent people.
Yeah.
It's actually insane.
Yeah, they create engagement pods to support what the bots put out there. I'm sorry, Hayden, you were going to speak.
I was just going to say, there's at least one good use for like the AI.
Is this what you sent me earlier today?
It's Apple Dog.
Oh, Lord. Oh! Nice. That's pretty good.
I got so many of them. I just kept spamming Mom with
them. Oh my goodness! I'm trying to work, and this dog
like,
keeps popping up on my phone. I'm like, okay.
There's one where he
what
like
did you
digs
just
down
say
into
about
the
immigration?
There's one where he like digs down to the ground. All of a sudden, Will Smith pops out with him holding spaghetti.
A bowl of spaghetti.
Those things are wild, dude. Wild.
Well,
and it kills me too, because things like Midjourney, like they're just developing further and further. When they started out, because like my friends put on Discord a link to our Midjourney thing, because they gave you like 100 free ones, and so we were just coming up with random stuff. I am an AI doomer, and so I don't trust or use AI like of my own volition. Like if I do it offhandedly by like utilizing a product without knowing it, that's one thing. But when Midjourney first started receiving prompts, it was just creating this nonsense blob of colors, and this has been like a year or two,
right?
And it has developed into what it is now. It's wild. Some of it is just indiscernible from reality.
Yeah, Midjourney is for imagery. Midjourney is one of the very best that you can get at an entry level cost point. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Oh, nice to meet you too. Do we have a bot joining us?
Did the AI just take over?
I was gonna show y'all something.
Batten down the hatches.
I don't know if you've seen what ChatGPT can do now.
I use ChatGPT every day.
Don't do it.
Hey ChatGPT, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I don't know if y'all can hear that or not.
Yeah.
I can hear you just fine. How can I help you today?
I don't know how
you can go back into
what are you
your
able to do?
Box. Ugh.
I can help with a lot of things. I can answer questions, have a chat, provide information, or assist with tasks like writing, brainstorming ideas, or learning something new. What do you have in mind?
Right.
It's just wild.
It's
And you
it's
can like
insane.
customize the voice and everything to it.
Yeah.
I use it every day, right? I use it every day for exactly what your little friend there was just saying, writing prompts to strategize, come up with key points or goals or things that, that we can then customize to fit a client's need. But what just has really blown me away with the latest release, because I do subscribe to Chat GPT, and this latest release has the ability that it builds memory based off of what I tell it about my client. So like if my client has a website and I will tell it, go analyze this website and build a profile of this store, build a profile of this retailer's avatar, which is like your medium customer looks like, who your target market is. And it stores all of that information. So when I come back and I say, we want to write a sales ad campaign centered around Black Friday for ABC company targeting avatar Susie, it remembers who Susie is. It remembers what that retail company is all about and will spit out a pretty comprehensive marketing plan. And I'm just like, okay,
So, did you see the video, like the demonstration the guy did with Anderson Cooper?
No,
So it's the
I was too busy watching
OpenAI.
Apple Dog.
It's the OpenAI guy. I don't know his name, but he was demonstrating ChatGPT's newest feature, where it can use the camera on your phone to see the world around you.
Oh no 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 no
And
no.
he was pointing it at the blackboard, and it was using the voice like that. And he was like, "All right, Anderson, we're gonna start by drawing the human body." And so he drew the body, and he was like, "All right, now can you just take a guess at like where the spleen may be? Just draw it in for me." And he drew it in. And he's like, "Yeah, you got it right." And the dude's just standing there holding it. And this is Chat GPT teaching Anderson Cooper about anatomy.
Right.
And he goes, "All right, now where's the liver?" And he draws the liver, and he goes, "You got Chat GPT is like, you got the shape right, but it's actually on the other side of the body." And it's just like, what? What?
Peace out. I'm done.
I'm done.
Look, and here's the deal. And like, yes, ChatGPT and AI can be very useful for like getting started on a project or keeping your thoughts in order, or like you said, Mom, it adapts to kind of like what you're
Right.
trying to do, so it learns your methods and whatever. But how long until like those AI are just the disinformation or misinformation?
Well, and
Right?
that's the whole point about the dead internet theory, right?
Yeah. Well, and so Upper Echelon talked about Potemkin villages, which are these like fake cities or
Yeah.
whatever that
Like
were
in North Korea.
well, they were constructed to impress Catherine the Great, I guess, but like it didn't, like it was just full of nothingness.
Right.
And so he said that that's kind of what the internet is like now. It's just this Potemkin village.
Right.
It looks like a whole bunch of stuff going on when in fact there's nothing going on.
It's
at
sort of
all.
like when you go to Hollywood Studios over at Disney World, and you walk the back lot and it's like really just the facade, like there's no building behind it. It's just the
Yeah,
front,
it's just
right?
like propped up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then you
exactly.
peek behind and you're like, "Oh, wow." I mean, that you do get that feeling with a lot of things on the internet nowadays, and it is like when videos go viral, or like you said, when we started the episode, Jason, something's got a million or followers and 200,000 comments on just one thing. You really start to question.
Right.
Am I just talking to myself? Am I the only one here? Hello, is anybody else
Is there
here?
anyone else around?
And because I am on the internet all day, and I am often on all of the different media platforms, and my clients come to me with whoever the influencer is in their space or whatever is trending in their space. And, oh, and I want to do this too. And then it's, you have to have the whole conversation about, well, that's a whole AI program that, you would invest.
So let me ask you all this then.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of doing this to the internet? Of making it just this vast field of bots and nothingness?
Oh, I can answer that.
Okay.
Money.
Money. Everything comes down to money.
But like, how do you make money if no one's there?
So it's like a perpetual loop of, we talked about the misinformation, the recycling of memes. It's really prevalent right now. And y'all know how I feel. I don't even like calling them newscasters or news channels or whatever. They're spinsters and opinion networks or whatever. You'll see they'll put out a story and it's the same across all these different platforms. But it's all to sell ad space. Clickbait, clickbait is the worst. Some big headline that makes you click on it, and then it's just ad. Like there's all kinds of ads inside of there. And if you are, I don't really know what word to use here, but if you are susceptible or very easily, impressed or led by that type of what we call guerrilla marketing, then you spend your money on the internet, right? You buy that amazing thing that's going to make you stop snoring, or those pills that are going to make you have a flat stomach, or the shoes that will make your feet never hurt ever again. You're going to buy them, and then what happens is
the trigger words.
Exactly. But those websites are set up with those click things to get you to buy, and then the next thing you know, you've been hacked or you've been leaked on the dark web, and it's just
right. And these products might not even be real,
right.
But you've put all your data in there and stuff, and they've just sold it to data brokers. And then on the off chance that you don't dispute with your credit card company or whatever the charge, then first of all, you lose that money, and then second, your data's been sold. So like you get hit on two fronts.
Right. Right. Like, and here's one of the biggest, and this is what people, and it's the rub of, progress is necessary, but to what end, right?
Right.
So one of the biggest things when you talk about data mining, one of the biggest ways outside of the healthcare industry that data is mined is insurance. How when you sign up for insurance and they're like, oh, and you can save an extra 20% if you plug this little thing into your car, right?
Mm-hmm.
What that little thing does is it tracks where you go, when you travel. There's just a lot of information that can be mined from there. And then of course, the insurance company has your name, your age, your address, and other information about you. And so whereas they're in the business of selling insurance, what they're really in the business of doing is brokering your data out to the hundreds of different types of companies who want that kind, like they want your buying habits, they want your travel habits, they want your shop habits, so that they can geo-target marketing to you, because then you go from being top funnel cold lead to middle funnel warm lead, because they know things about you, till then you're just right down in the funnel and you're going to click and spend money.
Well, and look, it's not a coincidence that when you talk about something, your phone then suggests it to you. That's
it does that to me all the time. Pisses me off.
I mean, seriously, like that's part of what you're talking about. And ironically, while these insurance companies are doing exactly what you're saying, they're simultaneously saying, well, we've got to raise rates because, the things are going crazy and people are getting in more accidents. It's like, okay, I'm not responsible for all those people.
Right.
But like,
I don't even know all those people.
So it's been described to me that insurance isn't necessarily like, we're going to cover you in the event of. It's more like they're taking a gamble. You're saying something bad will happen. They're saying something bad won't happen.
Right.
And so really you're paying them in the event that something will happen, but if nothing does, then they have won the bet. Does that make sense? Like,
so the insurance is betting for assurance.
Yes,
Pretty
right.
much.
So ironically, they have a better outlook on our lives than we do.
Right? I
They're
mean,
saying, yeah, likely you won't need us, so we'll gladly just take your money for
right.
free.
We will just take your
Yeah.
money. And then they get into partnerships with other entities, and certain insurances are mandatory, right?
The government.
Well, God, I'm sorry, but like this has been such a talking point in the news lately.
What's that?
That jerk who killed the CEO. It's like people are somehow think this is a really great thing, and I just don't
The
understand that.
United Healthcare guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
murder is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, first and foremost, and second, I don't care what your situation looks like. Like that is not how you solve problems. And so what's happening is people are just losing their minds and like trying to make this murderer into an icon. Like he's like the current day what's his name? Manson. Like, you know, people like got really like, oh, he's so hot. Like, quit being dumb.
Well, and so okay, and that's why I said outside of the medical field, right? Because there's a lot of convolutedness that goes on in the healthcare. Not providers. I mean, doctors and nurses and those people who work tirelessly to keep the hospitals and clinics and you know keep you healthy. I have the utmost respect for it. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm married, you know, whatever. But when I talk about the medical industry, it's the data management and the insurance part of it and the way things are managed. And you know, insurance wants you to try the cheapest route first, regardless of what your doctor said. Regardless of
Because
what
what
your
if it works?
right. So they'd rather spend thousands of dollars trying this, that, and the other thing before we get to the, hey, let's just lob off the head of the dragon and work down, right?
Right.
But it stories like that, when you've had a big medical thing and you've been denied treatment, or you have had to jump through a bunch of hoops just to get the necessary medicines or procedures to save your life, right? um you can become really bitter and burnt, and
No solution though.
it's not, and it does, it just breaks my heart to think that people get to that point in their journey, you know, what I would say, you know, the end of their rope, that they feel like they've been so wronged that now all of a sudden they're okay with that. But I mean, eh, I watched a I have worked for many years in, around, directly with, and next to can specifically breast cancer patients for a number of years now. And so there were a lot of stories that came out on my Facebook page, people that I know that had a bad experience with United Healthcare when they were going through their cancer journey. And, you know, they had something to say about it. And I'm just like, I'm sorry that happened to you. And I hope you feel better that you got your story out there, but it doesn't make it right.
Well, and here's the other thing too: is there's algorithms that govern how these insurance companies work, right? And so to bring it back to what we brought up a second ago is like the healthcare system's all jacked up. I'm not proclaiming a political opinion that this podcast hold. I'm simply saying my own opinion is that Obamacare was what did this. The Affordable Care Act is what created this issue because it mandated insurance coverage for all people. Therefore, everyone must be covered. And so what happens when you do that? It doesn't lower rates, it raises them because first of all, there's a monopoly on the situation. Like everybody has to do this. Therefore, you're just going to see rates go up across the board anyway. I get the Donald Trump hands going ever. Sometimes. I don't know what that is. I don't know why I've been doing that lately. But anyway,
it's going to be huge.
It's huge. It's a real problem. Listen. All right. Okay. If you just let me finish talking. That was a really bad one. But anyway, so what has happened is you see rates increase because of that. And because they're now having to cover people with pre-existing conditions and all this other stuff, everyone else becomes responsible for that. Like that to me is just what socialism is. Okay. If you're paying social health care or whatever, then you're paying for things that you're not directly responsible
But
for.
hold on.
Same thing
okay?
with the car insurance.
So, and I'm not holding this as my opinion. I'm just going to play devil's advocate here.
Sure.
Prior to the Affordable Health Care Act, you could just go to the ER. Hayden, with his little sniffle and his, I'm sick, could just go to the ER, rack up some giant bill and get some amoxicillin and go home and that bill has to be paid somewhere. And so then it gets passed on to those folks who do have insurance because insurance rates go up. So insurance
Sure.
rates were going up no matter what. I'm not saying that Obamacare did not exacerbate the situation. And again, I'm not holding that I am on one side of this conversation or the other. I just want to, the devil's advocate in that conversation is the thought process behind why there needed to be change, I think holds value. But what has happened is not where. Yeah. No.
Just I want to give Hayden a chance to jump in, but real quick, there was a story that came out of Canada where a woman had to wait 6 days with an open wound on her leg, and it ultimately got amputated due to infection because she couldn't get to see the person who could close her leg up. Like it's actually crazy.
Well, and if she lost her leg, she can only sue for $150,000 in Canada because they have limb limits.
We're also way off the beaten path here.
Yeah.
What's up, Hayden?
I was just enjoying the ride, bro.
He's like, y'all are gonna get in trouble. I'm good to go.
Hayden's like, I'm over here
to myself.
Hayden's over here. Like,
Nobody
I'm
gives
just
a shit
shutting
anyway.
down the NyQuils, like I can't be responsible.
Well, Hayden, you brought up something in the very beginning. I know I said I wanted to give you a chance to talk, but that time has passed already. So you brought up in the beginning, like, what are these bots for? Pursuit of Wonder touched on this in his video. He said in 2016, a cybersecurity company called Imperva found that bots accounted for 50% of online activity, 30% of which were bad bots that are used for nefarious purposes, such as hacking or stealing your information. And the final 20% were good bots that actually just maintain the internet and its function.
Right, because like the internet needs to be maintained.
Well, right. I mean, infrastructure, whatever.
What?
I'm hitting the power button right now on this podcast. Goodbye, y'all.
What,
we're no longer on the internet.
Are you a bad
No, we're
bot?
just no longer on the internet.
Yeah. Remove it. Take it off. This podcast isn't real.
These people, they've said enough with them. I mean, there are tons of studies, right? They're like anybody can do a report, analyze a section of data and come out and go, 15% of all social media influencers with over 1 million followers have, bogus. There's all kinds of.
Well, 15% or 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Exactly. But don't plug that thing into your car because the next thing you know,
for sure.
You'll be buying a piece of property in North China somewhere that has a bridge. But what's so funny to me too is
going on.
There's some sort of flying creature in here, and I don't know what it is.
Is it the Mothman?
I was gonna say I can't tell if it's a moth or a fly or something. I just don't want it to be a bee. Okay, it's a fly.
Okay.
My house gets a lot of wasps, so I was very concerned.
Oh, your house does get a lot of wasps.
Yeah.
It's that big bush out back.
That's what she said.
I shaved that. Thank you very much.
Well, see, now my Facebook feed is going to be filled with, not Facebook, my TikTok feed will be filled with, do you have a hairy cooch? It's this video that pops up. Are you tired of hair on your cooch? And I'm like,
and it's that.
Are you tired of
AI
it?
dog with an apple.
Yeah, right. I know. I'd rather watch the dog run around with the camera in its mouth.
You guys want to hear something interesting?
Sure.
No.
So some ordinary gamers really did a deep dive on this subject, and I can't remember what it stands for, but you guys know what DARPA is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
let's pretend I do.
So they had something called the Life Log program.
Okay.
And it was meant to research, and this is just taken directly from the webpage that he shared. It was meant to research sensors to capture data and data storage hardware,
Okay.
information models to store the data in logical patterns, and feature detectors and classification agents to interpret the data. So basically, it was supposed to capture your data, store it in a logical pattern, and then figure out what that means, right? And so this, when we talk about algorithms, that to me is kind of like the logical progression. What's most interesting about that is DARPA, according to a New York Times article, gave over the LifeLog program to NASA under the Total Information Awareness Project. And what's interesting is the LifeLog program was canceled February 4th, 2004. Do you know what else happened February 4th of 2004?
Oh my gosh, I'm
Was the
scared to
Patriot
ask.
Act?
Facebook was founded.
Well,
Oh.
there you go.
Isn't that wild?
Well, because you want to use Facebook to collect information for the Defense Advancement Research Project or whatever they call themselves.
Well, right. So you remember when that age your photo.
Remember?
You remember when that age your photo thing came out and everybody's
Yeah.
like, haha, stupid, you
now
just
the
gave over
FBI
your
knows what you
data.
look like.
Meanwhile, these people have been on Facebook for over 10 years at this point. It's like, come on, buddy, get with the program here.
I love the ones that it works. Just hold your finger down and copy and paste, and then all your friends you don't see. I'm like, stop. That's not how it works. Interestingly enough, that was really difficult for me to say. There is a lot of speculation about the algorithms and how they tweak those algorithms and what they respond to. So the more controversial or the more elevated your word choices or your topic is, the more exposure you're going to get. So interestingly enough, all three of us know someone who heavily depends upon the internet to market his events and activities, and he got a little curious because he really wasn't getting the same sort of engagement he had been getting when he first launched into this event
Because
promotion.
things have drastically changed.
Right. And so he used to, like, it used to just blow up. I mean, he had thousands and thousands of followers, and I mean, and he still does, but those followers were like engaged and commenting and liking, and now that
Now they're
started
like
to
dead accounts.
right. And they
Yeah.
all the dead people on the internet.
No, just dead
all the-
accounts.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
people don't use them anymore.
Right. But he decided a couple of weeks ago, and you may have seen this, Jason, he decided a couple of weeks ago he was going to put it to test because he kind of thought, hey, I'm talking about something that Facebook doesn't want to have pushed to the forefront. I'm trying to market something Facebook doesn't really want to get behind. So they're suppressing me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lace my content with Trump,
stuff that they
nuclear weapon, like all this crazy stuff. And it was insane. The amount of people were like, hey, brother, that's the first time I've seen a post from you in a long time.
Right.
And he's
Metal
like,
Gear Solid 2 was correct.
yes. Huh? What was that noise?
That's all she knows from that.
That's my favorite thing from that.
After this episode, I'm gonna play something for you, Mom, because I need you to know what I'm talking about. It's actually insane. Back in what 2002, Hayden, something like that. 2001. That's when the game came out.
I was peeing in my pants still.
This game, yeah, no, that's fair. This game literally predicted this very thing we're talking about. Like the dead internet and the AI and all the like censorship and suppression and whatnot.
That's fun.
Did you guys know that in 2012 something called the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act gives the U.S. government full legal authority to use propaganda against its own populace? What the fuck?
Okay.
Did you guys also know that InQtel is an American...
Hayden's like, look at the pretty pictures on
is
the
an
wall.
American not-for-profit venture capitalist firm in Arlington, Virginia. The owner is the Central Intelligence Agency.
Well, there you go. Yeah. All the craziness that happens. Let me tell you what AI and the dead internet theory cannot hold down.
Monkey
The
mischief.
sickness.
Monkey sickness, but
Come on, get
monkey.
down with the sickness.
Come on, get down with this. Why is it lately I sing on every episode? I'm needing to stop that.
We all have, I think.
Yes. But what AI cannot hold down is, yes, Monkey Mischief. Monkey Mischief is back for another year with the monkeys.
Ooh.
Ooh, Wait, I think I've done that before in an episode too. Y'all need to stop making me
You guys
do
are off the
craziness.
rails.
I
Usually I'm the one off the rails.
Right.
It's all the sickness in my brain.
So we are new year, new Monkey Mischief. We still put out the punch. Let me try that again.
We put out the punch, the fruit punch.
We do the fruit punch.
It's not
We
funny,
still
I
put out
promise.
the beginning of a dad joke every Monday and invite you to join us here on Wednesdays for the punchline. You didn't know that? Well, that's because you don't follow us in social media. And you know what? We've
Give
about
it the
had
program.
enough of that.
How dare
We've about had
you?
enough of it. Get on over
Right.
there, click the like button, click the subscribe button, do whatever you got to do to participate in the monkey mischiefness.
You need it in your life. I don't care
Yes.
what the algorithm tells you.
Whether you need it or not,
yeah.
I do because my algorithm sucks. But anyhow,
Mine's just AI dog.
right. Anyhow, if you joined us Monday, you would have seen that we posted, why does a chicken coop only have 2 doors?
Because it's worth 2 in the bush.
I keep that shaved.
Does a chicken coop have 2 doors? Cock in, cock out. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
That's the male chicken. That's a male chicken.
No, because if it had 4 doors,
It'd
it
be
would
a sedan.
Oh.
and not a coop. Look at him. He's like, oh.
In my brain, I was a little let down because you said if it had 4 doors, I went in my brain. I went, it's a whore.
Oh wow.
It was a hoe cake.
That's right. That's right. Oh my goodness.
Yes, it would be a sedan. If you think that you have a joke that is befitting of Monkey Mischief, please visit us at www.monkeysunfiltered.com. At the bottom of that homepage, there is a submission form. You drop that joke in there. If we voice it on air, we are still going to send you a what, Hayden?
Sticker.
A Monkeys Unfiltered sticker.
There's a monkey. Oh, look.
Sticker. Yeah. And then
Hey.
right. And then check this out. One day we'll work up to this. I got my new one today. Can you see it?
No.
Nope.
It's so bright.
Turn your
I know
brightness
what it
down.
is, but I can't see it really.
Turn your
It's
brightness
so
down.
damn bright.
Turn your brightness down.
On my phone or on my
On
computer?
your phone.
Okay, this is me being 56 years old. Hold on.
Look at everybody. She's a bot.
Hold on. Turn my brightness down. How do I do that?
I need to share this with you because there was nowhere else to put it in the episode really before you started Monkey Mischief. But In-Q-Tel invests in something called narrative science, which was invented by Northwestern students. It was a class project known as Stats Monkey to allow stories based on empirical data to be written entirely by the program.
Look at that. There it is. There's
Look at that tire
Bruce
cover.
and his new
In
tire
case
cover.
it's too hard to see on hers.
Yeah, thank you.
Could have just done that from the beginning.
My brightness is all the way down. It's not my phone. It's this giant computer screen. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, and if you guys want some like real entertainment, so we talked about AI comments and stuff, go check out the subreddit Sub Simulator GPT-2, sorry. It's unhinged.
And you know what? Just go use the free version of Chat GPT and tell it to give you 10 highly qualified comments for Monkeys Unfiltered, and then just come drop them on our feed.
Don't
Ask it
use ChatGPT.
Ask it the most random stuff because sometimes it's funny.
I need everyone to stop. I'm an AI doomer. I'm telling you, it's going to be a problem.
Did you see that ChatGPT like couldn't say one of the Rothschilds' names? It like would like shut down. It would name all of them.
Well,
and
he's the Patriots then, right?
We got to this one dude, and
the
there's an error. Sorry.
No, so This is a stupid fact too, but the reason Hideo Kojima called the Patriots the Lalilulelo is because there's no L
L.
in Japanese, so they literally could not pronounce the word.
That's
It's so funny.
it's like the guy who started Lululemon named it that way because he hates Asian people.
Yeah, right.
But you
right.
know what?
I feel like we've shared
But
both of
this
those
is
facts.
this is I'm having, what do you call it? Deja vu.
Deja vu. Deja
Maybe this really
vu.
is season 1. Maybe we are in multiple timelines.
What? I'm sorry. Is this the multiverse? Wait, what's going
Well,
on?
according to Google's new quantum computer.
Could be. Could be. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and apologize now in the event that in the editing process we cannot get rid of all the hacking and coughing. Please let it be known I did not hack or cough one time this episode.
You know what? It's season change. People got sinus problems. You're going to have to get over it.
Yeah.
I'm just dumb.
You're not dumb. You're not
I
dumb.
got a stupid body.
Well, this was fun. Thank
This
you for
was
bringing this
fun.
At
topic.
least
I
my
could have
bush is
went on
shaved
for
out.
another 3 hours, I
Yeah.
think, about this.
I feel like this is probably one we'll talk about again in some form later down the road because it is just so, it is very timely. It is very controversial. And, you know, dag nabbit, I think I've made the decision I'm going to be the controversial monkey this year.
There we go.
I'm going to bring all the, did you
Yeah.
just say that?
So it's funny you should say that, because I've really curbed my thoughts and opinions for real up to this point, but we'll see. If you're going controversial, then I'm probably going to join you there.
I don't know. You were kind of controversial earlier, bashing Obamacare, doing the Donald Trump.
Hey, brother, that's just the fact of the matter. I'm not saying anything about anybody.
And I'm not, and again, this doesn't have anything to do with political affiliation or whatever, but it's just funny that we all sat down here in red shirts.
Joe Biden voted in red.
Joe Biden voted
he wore
in
a
red.
MAGA hat.
And Joe Biden.
Joe Biden wore a MAGA hat.
And
all right, what are we even doing here?
What are we doing? What are we doing? We're saying, hey, we'll see you monkeys, same time, same place next week. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.
Thanks for being here for a year, monkeys.
Bye-bye. Shut up.
Like, I do not trust or use AI to any degree, at least that I'm aware of. Did I need to do that again because of the bump?
That'd be great.